you know, I just don't get the point anymore. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't, you know how you can get the point? I just don't get the point anymore. Like, the point is not being got, and on top of that, the point is not being pointed. Like, I just don't understand the point anymore. Like, what is the point? What is the...
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Okay, so I went to high school, tried super hard, studied my ass off, got really good grades. Then I got into a decent college, studied my ass off, got really good grades. That way I could get, you know, continued scholarships, funding, and a job, you know, because I thought GPA mattered. P.S. It doesn't. No one asked for my GPA. I'm very disappointed in that, actually. But it's fine. It's fine. I graduated with honors. That was something I could put on a resume, right? Right. So that's what I did. So tell me why I'm still broke, unhappy, and miserable. I hate my job. I have absolutely no passion in what I'm doing whatsoever. Like, people told me to just follow what I was good at. I'm good at school, so I followed that. I'm not passionate about it though. And so now I'm like a scientist and I work at, and you know, it's fine, it's great, it's whatever, but it's mind numbing and it's the same shit every fucking day. And like, this is not what I'm made for. It's not. I feel very stuck and like imprisoned by like the confines of culture that we have created.
Hi, can someone tell me what the fuck's going on? Like, what are we doing? After you work your job and you pay your bills and you go to the gym and you eat good and maybe you socialize and you sleep and then you take care of yourself. Like, what's the end goal? Retirement? No. Even when you meet your goals, you travel, you save up for something financially, you buy a house, you have a baby. What then? Like, it's really this day in, day out, every fucking day forever? Until what, the big finale is we die? Like what's going on? What are we doing here?
We deserve to live, not survive. It's not a radical thought. It's not a crazy think piece. It's 2025. What the fuck is the point of technological advancements if not to improve the lives of human society? Everyone should be housed. No one should be hungry. There is no reason for poverty other than human greed.
Okay, I can't be the only person that thinks about this, right? But like, what the fuck are we all doing here anyways? As in, what is the point of our lives anyways? Like, we wake up, we get dressed, we go to work, we work all day, come home, you know, make dinner, hang out with the family, go to sleep, rinse and repeat. But it's the same thing over and over and over again forever. Like, does anyone ever fucking think about, like, what is the point of life? Like, why are we even doing this? Are we all just on some, like, evolutional journey for our soul in whatever, like, this cosmic experience is? The only thing that I can think of is that we're here to learn how to love, how to inspire others, how to have meaningful relationships, maybe? I don't know. I think about this shit all the time and it just always boggles my mind. What do you guys think?
One of the side effects of burnout is wondering what is the point a lot more often. What's the point of the exhaustion? What's the point of the job? What's the point of all of this effort we're putting out day to day? I think rates of burnout are going up because it's getting harder to answer this question. There used to be greater reward for effort. For example, my dad delivered for UPS my entire life. The job was still a ton of work, but he could afford a house, a car, kids. Nowadays, UPS workers who are making even more money with a partner are struggling to afford things like a house. And he's watching as these new workers get paid more, get worked harder, and are not going to get the same retirement that he's getting. There are things we can do as individuals to manage burnout, but you cannot outwork a broken system. And so honestly, we're all making this journey through It's Not Fair land to get to a place where we can answer for ourselves why what we choose to do is worth it. We have to find our own answer for what the point is because the game is not as straightforward as it used to be.
Have y'all ever just not had the strength to like be fake at work? Like, I have zero energy today, all week. Since 2025, since I started this job, I have not had the energy to just be fake. Like, I want to go home. I don't feel like fake ass agreeing with people. I don't feel like listening to nobody complain. I don't feel like smiling and kikiing and acting like I'm happy. I'm not happy. I don't want to be here. I don't.
Oh, people really think like that. Yeah, no, economy sucks. Everything's expensive. I guess my thing is, if you had 100 people, 80 of them are going to think like that, and 20 of them are going to put their head down and figure it out. So, if everyone's dealt the same cards, how come some people figure it out and some don't? I'm curious.
Hey, I just wanted everyone to know that I got paid yesterday, and I paid most of my bills, and then I got maybe 2 days worth of food, and now I have $26.35 to my name. So I'm just curious, like what is it that what are we doing here? Where's the joy? Where's the life? Please, somebody pay for me!
The hourly pay for the work that they expect us to do is ridiculous. What do you mean I worked for a whole hour and I only get $15? What do you mean I worked for a whole hour and I only get $20? Who's making this stuff up? Who's sitting at the table and saying, oh my God, they're gonna love this? Who? Like, make it make sense. The people who make the wages wouldn't even work for what we work for. They wouldn't even accept the crumbs that they give us. So what makes anybody think working an hour and only handing somebody $15 is okay? In what world are we surviving off that? We're not. And that's exactly why everybody is fucking poor and miserable. Like, it's just not making no sense. Like, make it make sense. Somebody, please. I'm tired. If anyone asks me where I think I'll be in the next 5 years, I think I'm going to start saying dead. I'm a driver. I drive school buses. And just this school year alone, we've lost about 4 or 5 drivers to just spontaneous death. You know, and not all of them were old. Some of them were very middle-aged or even younger. And the thing is, when I got my CDL, I was 21 years old. I got an apartment. I got a car. I am now 30 years old. I have the same apartment, but I'm barely able to keep on to it. And I'm about to get rid of my car because I can't afford to make the payments any longer. I don't know what kind of quality of life I'm going to expect to have in the next 5 years, but if this is how it's going, I don't know if I will be able to answer that question positively. It's not me that's just feeling this, right? I mean, I can't be the only one who feels like this is just a means to an end. Like, this is a train that's getting ready to derail. I just really want off this ride, you know, whatever it takes. Y'all tell me.
This is actually true, and it's sad because so many people work so hard in their careers and they're not being compensated for it with adequate salaries. It's so frustrating because I think a lot of people are able to work, they want to work, but they want to work, like myself included, you want to work for a better salary. So I don't blame people, and they're better off because rent is cheaper, council tax is cheaper, everything is pretty much paid for, and then you just need a little bit to live on. Like, they have no incentive to work anymore. There's no incentive to work. But they don't realise how big... I'm really shocked we're not in, like, a massive recession because people are barely affording to buy things. Like, how is this sustainable if people have no money to spend and everything's on bills? What do you guys think?
It can't just be me, bro. Do you ever just ask yourself, like, what the fuck is the point? Like, what is the point, bro? What is the point of working? Like, I'm not even trying to be, ungrateful and sound like I just don't want to work hard. And, hey, it's just life of being a grown-up. I get all that, man. I'm a hard worker. You know what I mean? I'm a grown-up. Yes, I get all that. But it kind of just, it just doesn't make any sense, dude. It just doesn't make any sense. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, it's no point. It's like people really expect you to work 5 to 6 days your whole life until you die. Just to get by. Like, it's just like what's the point? What's the point, bro? These fucking, garbage jobs. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter all these garbage 9-to-5 jobs, right? You work for 8 to 10 hours just to be broke at the end of the month, bro. Just to be broke at the end of the month. You can't tell me that that's the point of life. You can't tell me, dude. You can't tell me that. And then if you miss one day at work, then you're fired. You get sick, you're fired. You have a family emergency, then you're fired, bro. Like, that's just BS. That's garbage. That is absolutely garbage, bro. They think that we're bots. They think that we're literally robots, bro. We have feelings. We get sick. We have family emergencies. It's okay. They try to make it seem like that's not okay. You know what I mean? It's just garbage. You can't, like, if money, I swear, I'm not trying to say money is everything, okay? I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. Like I said, I'm grateful that I have family. You know what I mean? I'm grateful that my mom is still alive. I'm grateful that my dad is still alive. I'm grateful that I have my brothers and that we're all healthy. I'm grateful for that. But like, I like, dude, that's just, I'm gonna be real with you. If that's it, like, I just don't feel like a man. I just don't feel accomplished. Like, I don't want my mom to be working until she's 90 years old. I don't want that. I don't want that, man. If my brothers need me to be there for them financially, I want to be there for them. I feel like that is also what life is about, especially as a man. Like, I just want to make my mom proud, bro. I just want to make my dad proud. You know what I mean? And I'm not even trying to say that, like, it's, you know, materialistic things, but like, I love my mom. I kind of just feel like you ever just feel like a failure because you just can't be there for your mom? You just can't be there for your dad. You just can't be there for your brothers. You're just not that guy because you can barely take care of yourself. And then, you know, let's say that, you know, your brothers start having kids and you just feel like a deadbeat uncle, bro. You just feel like you're not even there. And then holidays come around and you can't even spend time with each other because money's the fucking problem. Because money's the problem. And then you just feel like you're not even a good family member because you can't even be there. You can't even be there for birthdays. You can't even be there for holidays. You can't, it's like you're non-existent. You're literally non-existent, bro. You can't tell me that, oh, you know, a phone call is going to get you by. A text is going to get you by. Nah, man, I want to be there with my family to celebrate these holidays. And then I can't because if you go on vacation, then as soon as you get back from vacation, you have to go back to work. And then if there's no vacation pay, then you're fucked. And then you come back from vacation, let's just say, you know, you wanted to enjoy yourself. You just wanted to get some freaking food. You just wanted to experience life. You wanted to, you know, buy a present for your cousins, or, you know, it was your brother's birthday or your fiance's birthday or girlfriend's birthday, and you just wanted to get something for them, and then you're fucked. Then you're fucked. It's just, dude, bro, I'm not trying to complain. Again, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. It's just, you can't tell me that this is the point of life. This is the point of life, right? To work every day, to slave every single freaking day. And you can't buy anything that you want. You can barely feed yourself. You can barely own a fucking car. And you can't even live in a house. Most people don't live in houses because it's too expensive. I live in a house, but it, like, dude, bro, I just feel like there's something better out there. I feel like there's something better out there. And I feel like I could just be doing so much better, bro. Like, I'm never going to stop feeling like that. And it's not even just me. I know that there's some people out there that feel the exact same way. This is just how I feel. Like, I'm not going to be happy, bro, waking up, slaving for BS income, for bullshit income, bro. It's BS. Like, it's just not fair, bro. It's not fair. You're working 5 to 6 days a week to just be poor, to just get by, to be broke at the end of every month. That's what the point of life is. There is no way that is the point of life, bro. There is no way that is the point of life. You can barely buy yourself stuff. You can barely feed yourself. You can barely, bro. I'm starting to lose it, bro. I'm literally starting to lose it. I feel like I'm on the edge every day. I feel like I'm on the edge every day. I feel like I'm reaching my breaking point almost every day, bro. Because this is like, dude, I can't wake up and be extremely happy and satisfied with being broke at the end of every month, dude. It's stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I've been feeling this way for a long time. You just feel like you're just You're being lazy. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, working a lot sometimes feel like you're just taking the easy way out and you're just being lazy. That's what it feels like to me. I'm not trying to say that to anybody else. It just feels like that to me. Because it's just like, I'm just gonna be real with you guys and honest. Working extremely hard at a 9 to 5 doesn't get you anywhere. I'm sorry. It just doesn't get you anywhere, bro. It doesn't get you anywhere. This is how I view it. You work extremely hard to do more work and still get paid the same amount as others that are not doing the same work you're doing. And then let's just say you get a raise. Bro, you're telling me that I'm supposed to feel accomplished and happy with 2 quarters thrown at me? 2 extra quarters thrown at me for every hour that I work. I'm supposed to be happy about that? I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $2, bro. You're telling me that I'm supposed to be happy and feel accomplished and be satisfied with life for a $1 raise, a $2 raise, even a $3 raise, bro. Dude, that is BS, bro. That is BS. That is BS, dude. What is the point? It literally feels like there is no point of working extremely hard and working every day, all day anymore. There's no point. There's no freaking point, bro.
I get where he is coming from, but there is a point of working. It's to work for yourself. It's to own every single thing that you produce. That is the key. That is the goal of everything, is to have something that scales with your efforts. If you put more work in, you should get more income in and all of these things, and have your own schedule as well. That's about it, really.
I don't think people understand what being poor means. It's a compounding thing. And it turns out, like, when you don't have enough money, everything works against you. Think about it. If you're poor, probably don't have a car, you take the bus. Going to work and coming from work takes much longer because you're on the bus's schedule. When you go to the grocery store, because you take the bus, you can only buy what you can carry, which means you have to buy the smaller packages, which means you're going to be paying more because of the cost of the packaging. And then it's only what you can carry, so you have to go to the grocery store more frequently. You can only carry so much because you can't afford a car. And then if you don't have insurance history or credit history or banking history, then it makes it even harder to even get a car loan, to be able to have the transportation, to take advantage of the savings that come with being able to be somewhere at a certain time. Think about employment too. How much harder it is to go to job interviews when you're on a bus's schedule. It takes a larger chunk of your day, leaves you less time to work that day, which means you make less money that day. And you see how all these things just compound? This is why I would say be very careful about people who talk about wealth disparity who've never been poor before. I got a taste of it for just a week and a half and I was like, this shit is so rigged. Once you've experienced it, like not having a car, not having money, trying to make it to work on time, trying to buy groceries, trying to get places before stores close and before the bus route ends. You don't get it if you've never lived it.
I think about this constantly. I can't wrap my head around wanting to be a billionaire if you're not going to help people. Like, what is the point of getting that much money that you are never going to spend in your whole lifetime, yet you don't want to help people? That's not the goal. The goal is to go to space. To continue living in space, because eventually you're going to die. And then what do you do with all of those piles of money? Like, it just gets you just give it to your family members and then they just continue your legacy. Like, what is the point if you're not going to help people and you can't spend it all in a lifetime? So what are we doing with it?
Man, when I tell you there ain't no reason to live in this country and be broke, if we're broke, it's because we're not being resourceful enough. Let me give you an example of how I was just reminded. I'm inside a Goodwill, right? And I'm in the electric section, and there's a lot of homeless people around digging through, and they are digging through, going exactly for one thing. I'm like, hey, what you doing? He tells me, oh, I'm going to recycle the cords. So you're going to pay for the cords here and go recycle them somewhere else? All right, what's in it? He says he's going to pay for a bin of cords, right, from Goodwill for $10. He's going to take it and then go recycle it for $50 and collect the profit in the middle. This man is resourceful. And if he's that resourceful, then why aren't we?
Here's an example of, and I've experienced this to an extent, and I've had friends experience this over and over again, of how being poor is really expensive. When you hear that, it doesn't make any sense. But here's a simple example. You own your house. Your grandma left it to you. You don't have a lot of overhead. You just have to keep the house up. But it is an older house. It came with a washer and dryer. And one day, your washer craps out, and that happens. Like, they just wear out. You've done everything you can to try to repair it. You've looked online. It appears to be something that's a really expensive part, $200 or $300. Even if that's the problem, you have to like hope it's the problem. If you order that part, and then you have to hope you can install it. And if you call a repair guy, it's going to be $200 or $300 for the part, another $200 for him to come out and repair it. Now you're just in a new washer or a scratch and dent washer. So, okay, I can afford a scratch and dent washer, but right now, my 2-year-old and 3-year-old or 4-year-old, my teenager, all need clean clothes for school coming up on Monday. I'm working Saturday, but I have Sunday off. But the laundromat's only open until 10 o'clock, but I don't want to take my kids out late. So, but the problem is my car's not running very well. So I can take an Uber to get my car. So I'm going to jump in my car, go to start it. It's not doing very well. Okay, I got to take an Uber. So now I can't find anybody to drive me. All my friends are either at work or they're busy on a Sunday. So I jump in an Uber. It costs me $20 to go to the nearest laundromat which has limited hours, but I got to judge that. Like, do I go further and do it later in the afternoon, whatever works for me? But here's the issue with that is that laundromat is more expensive. It's a brand deal. It's not a local place. They're more expensive. They are very nice, very nice. So I take the kids. I don't want to be out too late because the kids, they're 2 and 3, and my teenager has softball practice at like 5 o'clock. And, we got to make that because that's really important for her. But the 2 little ones, they need to be in bed. I don't want to be out past 10 o'clock. So go spend that money, get to the laundromat now. I got to wash the sheets and blankets. A little one, peed on his bed. The teenager has to have the uniforms ready. So I get all that done, and I got to have it all done by 5 o'clock and get home, get the teenager, and then, get home. So get everything in. Laundromats can cost, and it's been a long time since I've been, so I'm going to say $25 in for a load of all that. Maybe even more if you have comforters or things you need to do. So you have to you're kind of deciding, can we live without the comforter? Wash the sheets and not the comforter, and which clothes, and you're sorting all that, and you get it all, but you got to do it all. Like, you only have this one chance. You don't have another chance for the week or two to get back to the laundromat. So you're washing all you can. Let's say it costs you, let's do an even up, $30. Now you take the Uber home, you walk the kids to softball practice, she walks home on her own because you're putting the little ones to bed. So then Monday rolls around again, and you found a scratch and dent washer online for $200, but you don't have $200. You had it in your savings, but you used about $50 to $60 to get the Uber to go to wash the clothes. So next week, Monday rolls around, you got to do laundry again. So you now have dipped into your savings some more, and now you only have $100 left in your savings. So you talk to the scratch and dent place, and they say, sure, we will sell you this. You put a down payment, and then we're going to charge you interest, and you rent to own. So you do that, and you end up with a $100 payment. So there's all your savings. And you had, you have all your savings, but you get, and then they deliver it, and that was another, $50 because you don't have a way to deliver it, and then you're hooking it up. You got to make sure it's okay, everything's good. You do that yourself. You just hope it doesn't leak. You hope there's not damage. So now I have a washer, but then around comes that payment. That whole month, you don't have to make another payment. That next month then comes around, and it's a $50 payment. Okay, so you have to take that out of your paycheck because your savings is gone. So now that $50 paycheck comes out of that's groceries. That's the money you were going to put towards fixing your car so it's a little safer. That was the money that you were going to put towards your electric bill that's a little higher because it's summertime and you have to run the air conditioning because your little one has asthma. You see what I'm talking about? That's how it happens. It's really expensive to be poor because everybody sees you coming. They see you coming and they charge you, and it costs more money because you can't just pay cash. If you could have just said, oh, great, the washer and dryer is broken, I'm just going to go spend this $200 and buy a washer, and it's perfect. But that's not the way it works. If you even have savings. If you have $200 in savings, you're probably doing better than a lot of us. And that's really good. And I commend you for that. And it can be really hard to save that kind of money. So if you have $200 in savings, good job. Like, that's really hard to do, believe it or not. I know a lot of people, my parents would scoff at that. They'd be like, what do you mean it's hard? It's really hard to put $200 in savings and not touch it.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
What did you do growing up poor that would never make sense to rich kids?
Take rolls of tissue and paper towels from the school so we can have some at home. Dye my hair with Kool-Aid. Y'all might think that's ghetto. And sleeping in one room Although we had a 4-bedroom in the winters because it was the only room with a heater when the heat was off.
Have you ever been frustrated that you've put in some serious hours at work, like 40, 60, maybe even 80 hours of work, you know, for like say $20 an hour, right? And then when you get your paycheck, it's not a lot of money, right? And it's frustrating because, you know, you've put in a lot of time, you put in a lot of effort, you've done everything that, you know, society tells you is the right thing to do, but you're not seeing the rewards, you're not seeing the success. And in fact, at the end of the month, you've paid all your bills and you might have a couple bucks left over for savings, but a lot of you have told me you don't have anything left at all, right? So what you're experiencing is something that a lot of us adults have gone through, and that is, you know, we're raised with this mentality that if you work hard, you know, keep at it, you're just going to be successful. That's only part of the equation. You can't just do it all on work, right? A lot of what you get paid for is based not only on the work you put in, but also who you work for and the nature of the work you do. So generally speaking, if you tend to work for, let's say, a larger company, let's say an Amazon, and the nature of your work is maybe you're like a warehouse specialist manager, you know, who knows how the whole system runs and stuff, you're naturally going to make more money in a 40-hour work week because of your position and your title and the company than you would somebody working the entry-level job in the warehouse, right? Because it's specialty skill and labor that pays you more. So if you're starting to think about how can I make more money and do as much work or a little bit less, then what you should do, from my dad perspective, is to start investing in your career. So if it's going back to school, or if it's acquiring a new skill, or getting some education or certifications, do it, right? Because you'll find if you invest the time and effort up front over the course of your career, you'll make more money and do, well, less work, right? So that's the magic of successful adulting. Hope that was helpful to you. I'm Percy Chow, your Gen X Asian dad. Have a good day.
Why am I even working right now, bro? I got back home. I checked my bank account. It said $0. The company I work for is talking about, yeah, Lizzie, your money for the past month and a half is in a bank account that you don't have access to. Neither do we, by the way. The company who does payroll has your money. They're switched banks. Your money is in the old bank, not the new bank. So how do I get my money? We call it the old bank, and the old bank's like, our bank account is shutting down on the 26th of February. Okay, now how do I get my money? They're like, well, we can't transfer it. We can't do wires. You're telling me what you can't do. How can I get my money? I have no money. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. You know, we like, bro, what? Why am I working? Why am I working? It's been over a month and a half and I have not gotten paid. And they're like, oh, we can send you a check. You'll get it in 3 weeks. Your bank closes in 2 weeks and I'm not going to get my money until 3 weeks in a check form. What happens after the 2 weeks and you're shut?
I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman's got nothing on me. I'm only one call away from calling the fucking drug dealer that I know to get into business with him. Because this fucking equal rights, equal fights bullshit is for the fucking birds. To the females of my past, I'm not saying thank you, fuck y'all. The female of the past that went and marched and fought for us women to work. And working was not my problem, you know. Because the way the women were treated back in the day, I get it. I get why they wanted to work. But for equal rights, equal fights, I'm gonna fuck you guys up in the afterlife. And that's a fucking promise, bro. I'm going to heaven. If y'all are in heaven, we're fighting on sight. If y'all are in hell, my best friend is gonna freaking look out while I sneak out the back door of heaven, go downstairs real quick and fuck y'all up. Every morning I gotta get up and deal with this shit. And then the field that I am in is a male-dominant field. And those motherfuckers' favorite line is, oh, equal rights, equal fights. Nigga, not me. I'm not one of those females. I'm not one, oh, what a man can do, I can do. No! I'm not one of those. I am not one of those. Whew. I'm one bad day away from fucking selling drugs. I'm just saying right now, one bad day away.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.